I think they like transfer her, or they trade her.
They trade her to another team. So they end up going to the World Series, and it's Dottie's team, the Rockford Peaches, against Kit's new team, and whoever wins is going to be the champion. And so there's like this huge kind of conclusion where, it's down to they're in the last, I think, inning, and Kit's going up to swing for the last time, and Dottie goes out to the pitcher and she's like, hey, like, throw the fastballs. She can't hit them. So she's, it seems like Dottie's going to do whatever it takes to win, no matter what, whether it's her sister or not, But then Kit surprises everyone, and she's able to hit one of the fastballs, and she makes it all around, and she's, about to slide home, and Dottie catches the ball and tries to tag her out, but Kit hits her so hard that she knocks Dottie down, and Dottie, drops the ball, which means that Kit ends up being safe, and her, so her kid sister ultimately wins the World Series, and the Peaches lose, and so the big question is do we think that Dottie did it on purpose, so that her sister Kit could have, how do you say, her time to shine, or did Kit really outplay her sister?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on that, other recording we did with CJ, it was kind of like it could be either or. But we want to believe more that, it was more that Kit actually, won fair and square against Dottie, her sister. And the reason why I think, like, the theory could be that Dottie did it on purpose was because of before Kit gets traded, how she's, mentioning to her, like, what can I do to make it better? And, they're fighting, and she's like, I'll quit, like, I'll get traded. And she's like, no, like, they're going to blame me if you quit, and, this and that. And so you feel like Dottie gives this opportunity because she knows how much it means to Kit. And Dottie has already made up her mind. Like, as soon as her husband is back from the war, she's going to, go back home and be a wife and have kids, and that's the end of it. And so it kind of gives you that that theory of, like, maybe, she did it to mend that relationship with her sister, to show her, like, this is just a game for me, but for her it'll be like, okay, she won. But at the same time, and I remember, I think, well, maybe it was either CJ or maybe you mentioned that it would take away from that, that she actually won fair and square, and that it wasn't something that Dottie just decided to, like, give to her, that, Kit worked for it, and, it surprised everyone, like you said, making that hit, and then completing the home run to win the World Series. So as much as those little hints to me might say, oh, she did it on purpose, like, yeah, we would love to believe, that it won't. It was Kit herself that proved that she, could be as good as her sister.
Another thing that could potentially lead to that Dottie didn't do it on purpose is because she seems clearly mad after the game. I think Kit and Dottie meet up, and Kit's being kind of, approached by all these little, fangirls and stuff to sign for the autographs, and Kit tries to approach Dottie, and Dottie's very standoffish, and she's kind of offended the way that Kit slid into her and knocked her over, and she seems a little like annoyed with her, where it's like, oh, did she really hurt her? Maybe it wasn't, an accident, or it wasn't intentional, but at the same time, it could have been her playing it off. You know what I mean? So it's I don't think we're really meant to know the truth, I guess. But like you said in the last recording, I think the better scenario would be that Kit outshined her sister, this one time, and proved that she could hang with the big dog, so to speak,
Yeah, no, and it also, like, gives that whole, like, not giving up, because even though Kit, like, even I think it was one of the games where even she gets mad because Dottie, like, goes against, you know, I mean, you could say that goes against her, you know, doesn't support her when they're telling her, like, oh, you know, you're throwing, like, really bad. And she's like, no, I'm good. And then Dottie says, like, oh, no, you know, she's fine. And then they're like, no, for real. And she goes, okay, yeah, she's done. And Kit kind of, you know, gets mad at that, too. And she's like, excuse me, like, why, you know, I can work as hard as you or be as good as you. And so when Kit does, you know, hit one of the, it's the high balls, right? Like, because she tells her, like, stay off the highs.
Yeah.
That's her way of showing her, like, you know, I like the highs and I can hit them. So that, yeah, I think it's a lot, or a better ending to, yeah, Kit worked hard and proved to not just everyone, but to her sister, like, I can be, you know, like you, on top of my game as well.
We are so fortunate because we've got not one but two unbelievable actresses with us today. Geena Davis, of course, you know her. She picked up the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 1989 for her role in The Accidental Tourist, earning an Academy Award nomination for playing Thelma in Thelma and Louise.
And not long afterwards, she was a peach. 25 years ago, Geena suited up to play Dottie Hinson, a member of a World War II-era women's pro baseball team, the Rockford Peaches. And it was a film that taught us all a very important lesson. Take a look.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris.
Zip it, Doris.
That, of course, is A League of Their Own. And a special, by the way, edition Blu-ray is available now where you can relive some of the film's iconic scenes, like Geena at work on the ball field. And let's just get right into it. Geena Davis, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
I should probably mention, just before we forget, we actually have the costumes, the peach costumes. Rosie O'Donnell, you, Lori Petty, you wore, plus a bat and a glove, and they're all pulled from the archive at Sony Pictures Entertainment. So we kind of want to relive it while we talk to you this morning. Kind of cool.
Excellent. Yeah, I should have come out in my
right. Exactly. Do people still talk to you about this role? I mean, it's
absolutely. You know what's so interesting, and it was 25 years ago, and we didn't realize at the time how long movies were going to last. I have the same number of girls and young women recognize me from that movie and say I play sports because of that movie. So it's fun. Yeah.
You're an Olympic athlete. I mean, you're an archer. You're
nearly.
Yeah, but still, you're world class. Watching you play in this game, did you have some skills playing?
I didn't know how to play baseball or any sport.
Really?
When I took this up.
What?
At all. I was the tallest kid in class in high school, and was very self-conscious. Fervently wished that I took up less space in the world, and I didn't play any sport. They were constantly begging me to join the basketball team, and I was like, I can't play, and they said, just stand there.
So great being an actor because you get to live these lives,
right.
You know, and learn things and grow, and it's awesome.
So I learned for the movie, but then it turned out I actually was athletic, so that's when I took up all this other stuff.
When you did the splits.
Yeah, I did that.
That was pretty impressive.
Thank you.
When you did the film, did you at the time know how important it was going to be in forwarding women's story?
No. I mean, I knew it was a great script, and I loved that they were making a movie about women in this, remembered era in our lives. But no, it kind of exploded, which was fabulous.
So cool, and you've taken that torch.
Yes.
And the Bentonville Film Festival, which is so great. I've been to it. I had a film in this festival.
That's right.
You founded this festival.
Right.
You also have the Geena Davis Research Institute for Gender Equality in the Media. And I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
For really holding this position for women in entertainment and media and the stories we're telling. And tell us about Bentonville. I can't say it this morning.
It's really hard to say.
Bentonville.
And for people that know about it, they were telling me all about it and how wonderful it is. It's a
great
gem.
town.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's a really
festival.
beautiful little town in Arkansas, and the whole purpose of it is to champion women and diverse voices in all kinds of media, actually, and we have the film festival. And we're the only one. The interesting thing is we're the only film festival in the world that awards guaranteed distribution to the winners. So they'll be in theaters, on TV, and digital, and DVDs. So.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That happened to the film I was in, Big Stone Gap,
What was
at that festival. It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
We had a female writer, female director, female stars. It's very cool.
And one of your other roles, are you ready? I understand next week you will officially be the mom of twin teenagers.
Oh,
Yes, that's
13.
right. Oh my God, nobody ever put it that way. Yes.
congratulations.
Oh.
And good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, my boys turned 13. My daughter just turned 15, so I've got real full-on teenagers.
Which one's easier, teenage boy or teenage girl?
Well, there's two of the boys. Yeah.
So two boys equal one girl?
As
far as difficulty?
it's very different. It's very different. You know, they're at completely different places.
Well, congratulations on that
Thank you.
milestone. You have to let me know how that one goes. Gina
will.
Davis,
I'll
thank
come
you.
back.
Definitely. So I don't forget, I want to point out that I really enjoyed the score, which was done by Hans Zimmer, who's a huge sought-after composer now. I had no idea that he had done this, but yeah, the music throughout this film is incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It really does also, connect what's going on. I mean, I even feel like when it's like the ladies' night out that we mentioned before, how they're all having a good time. Like I was even dancing out to that music too. I was like, oh, this is really good. I know I wanted to touch base on how, it's just touching a little bit more back on, the looks instead of skill, about the character, the Marla's character, how the introduction of her, I guess they're recruiting, and they go and see, how she's practicing, and it's very impressive how she can hit right and, left sides, but because of the way she looks, even Kit says it you're not taking her because she's not pretty. That's when you see, men don't just see the skill, but of, how you're, how you look, your appearance. And, even the father would say, it's not her fault. I raised her like this. And that he talked to, a coach in the American League, I think the American Legion, saying that if she was a boy, he would have taken her to state, tournament, or be talking in New York, with the Yankees. And that's another thing that stood out to me too, that it was she almost didn't even get a chance, because she wasn't pretty. The society standards were, she wasn't up to them. And I think that's another thing that they really also, address in the movie, of how some of these girls, they're not all perfectly good looking, but they're, tough, and they play baseball with a passion.
Who would you say, real quick, do you have anybody, a standout favorite character at all?
I really do like, Dottie's character, because as much as she says, I don't, care about the baseball, everybody sees that she is actually, happy, and how she starts managing the girls, and even, with her kid sister, being the older sister, taking care of what's, more wanting what's best for her younger sister. I kind of relate to that a lot, because I am an older sister, with my younger two brothers. And then even Kit's character too, she doesn't give up, and even though she knows that she's always being compared to her sister, or that, she's stuck in the shadow, she still wants to show herself and prove herself. And I think her character development also is pretty good, until the ending, where she's now even a role model for younger girls. So it's not just her sister, it's she's actually, signing the ball for the girls, and they want to be a baseball player like her. And so it's really nice to see both of the sisters and their character development throughout the movie. I think I like both of the sisters more. They stand it out more to me.
Okay, yeah, I can respect that. For me, I really liked seeing Madonna as May, because I don't think Madonna has. Of course, she's acted a little bit here and there, but this is one of the more prominent roles I think I've ever seen from her, and she feels very natural. And that's coming from somebody who's never been a big Madonna fan. My mother was big into Madonna, like her '80s, her earliest, stuff, and but I never really was. I was just like whatever. But seeing